Hello everyone, I'm the Mole Man and welcome back to Train Simulator. We're doing another Trainbow run because why the hell not? And we are at York. Yes, we're at York today. The passengers are boarding. It's almost time to depart. Just waiting for a little bit of clearance from the get-go. You know, doors closed and green signal. I don't know how we're looking. No, still waiting. Still waiting. It's going to be a good little run today. Not too long, but you know, it should be nice. I can hear our doors closing. I think we're ready to go. There can be only one thing that we're driving today. And yeah, here she goes. After revving up there's the buffers. It is of course a class 91, which is very, very nice. 91121, bearing its Trainbow livery, which is very nice. Look at that. LNER looks absolutely wonderful. So yeah, we're going to crawl our way out of York. We're on the Northeast England route, so we are heading up to Darlington. Oh yes, we're heading up to Darlington. All, how many is it, 9 coaches these things have? So yeah, this could take a while to watch it crawl past, but that's fine. That's fine. I have already put the speed set on and stuff, so we're not going to go sailing straight out and into a speedy thing. We don't want to be speeding as soon as we don't want to set the bar that low at the beginning of a video. So we should be fine to begin with. We're just crawling out of York. I think we're stopping at Northallerton on the way, I believe. Yes, this is a scenario that comes with the route. It's available on DP Simulations, and yeah, it just goes from York to Darlington, and then Middlesbrough and Bishop Auckland, and a couple of other places, I think, which is very nice. And this is one of the included scenarios, but I swapped out the AI to the LNER era instead of East Coast because East Coast didn't have a Trainbow, and LNER do, for the moment at least. And there goes the DVT. Excellent. Right, let's jump straight back to the front. How are we doing? We are doing good. Got the Duchess of Sutherland there at the museum, which is very nice. And an 08 and a 37. Lovely. Right, let's power her up. Open up all the way, get ourselves up to 30 miles an hour. And quickly up faster than that as well. Yep, we are stopping at Northallerton in just under 30 miles. And yes, 91121 replaced the Trainbow that Virgin Trains East Coast did on a 91, but now 91121's days are practically over. If it hasn't been withdrawn already, it will be withdrawn very soon, which is a shame. But the time comes for these old locomotives. I just hope that LNER do an Azuma Trainbow to replace it. That would be very nice. Right, we can get our speed up. So let's speed set adjust, and we are on our way. So yes, going to Darlington, Northeast England route. It's a very, very nice route. There's lots of nice little tiny details in there, which we shall hopefully see along the way. First things first, we've got a nice swooping curve to get us out of York, and screenshots will be had here. Oh, lots of Voyager action. That's cool. Let's even get a screenshot with that. Look at that, very nice. I do like Voyagers. They get a lot of hate. And I've only ever been on them once, and I know most people dislike them, from an on-board perspective. But as trains in general, I just think they're cool. I like all trains. Train equality is what we need. No hating particular trains, just love all trains. And we're off. Look at that curve. It's wonderful. But that's pretty much all we get in terms of curves now, because as you can see, we're going up to 125. So there we go. Perfect. Didn't speed. Got a neutral section coming up. Don't know if this reacts to them or not. We'll pretend we'll go on the basis that it does, and we'll power down. So yes, the 91. This has got to be one of the best enhancement packs ever, in my opinion. Just hearing the rev up at the beginning of the fans, just I love it. It's great. It's absolutely great. And we're going to get ourselves up to 125 in the train bow, which is very nice. Look at it. It's wonderful. It's very simplistic, and the Virgin Trains one was simplistic as well. Virgin Trains East Coast, I mean. I forgot to power down, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a very simplistic design, and I feel like Virgin Trains would have done something a bit more if they weren't about to lose the East Coast franchise. Because after what they did on West Coast, what they did on East Coast was sort of very dull. And given the 91s were on borrowed time, LNER did the same thing. But hopefully with the Azumas we'll get a nice proper looking thing. You never know. I'd like to think so. Picking up speed rather rapidly now, which is good. But yeah, I came up with this design for LNER train that replaces the white, which was kind of cool. Let's try and made a rainbow out of that. It was quite nice. I did it on a HST. I've got a habit of showing you things. I'll try and throw it up on the screen now, unless I forget, of my Pride HST sort of Virgin / LNER design, which was very cool. So yeah, racing along now. I do love the 91s, and this is a good livery for them in general. Just the Virgin Trains LNER livery. It suits it. I don't think we've had a livery that doesn't suit the 91. You know. Even the Euro Phoenix livery that a pair are wearing at the moment looks good. Yeah, this is very nice. It's a little laggy, but nothing we're not used to, eh? We should see some nice trains zooming past us along the way. But yeah, so when you download this route, it's free route. You need obviously some requirements, of course. But so this scenario is set in like 2014, so you've got East Coast and all that sort of stuff running around. I've merely swapped it out. Oh look, there's some coaches on the right. This is what I mean by little details. Look at this. That's clearly like some sort of restaurant. Yeah, look. There's a little guy sat here, just reading the paper. It's like some sort of restaurant that's been made out of coaches, which is cool. We are nearly at 125, which is very nice. There's nothing much else to get to it. It's just crawling up to its final speed now. And of course, these things can go a lot faster. Their name like the Intercity 125. These were the Intercity 225s for 225 kilometers per hour or 140 miles an hour, which, as you can see, is there. This goes up to 150 on the speedo, which is very nice. It's a very fast locomotive. And I literally, back in the day, back in the early days of me and Train Sim, I bought the 91 literally just because of how fast I saw it could go and its acceleration. Like if we ditched the coaches and just 100% throttled, this would take off like a rocket, and that's literally the reason why I bought it back in the day. It wouldn't be until several years later that I actually go on one. Yeah, I went on a 91 or Mark IV last year in this direction on the East Coast Main Line. I went up from London to Edinburgh, which was very nice. Yeah, I didn't sit in this coach. Haha, that's not a thing anymore. Well, it's an Azuma, but it's not a Virgin Azuma. That livery was a bit weird. Yeah, so I've done this. Did London to Edinburgh. What a disaster that was. No, it wasn't a disaster. But the journey up took a lot longer than it should have done, because the 91 in front of us failed. Because of course it did. That's just what trains do. It failed in front of us and came grinding to a halt. Grantham, I think. I can't quite remember now. And all of a sudden they were like, well, the train in front of us has failed, so squeeze up, get everything off the seats. We're letting everyone who was on that train get on this one. What? So it's the first time sat down in a Mark IV, enjoying the experience, the journey up. Already had to argue about seat reservations on the way, and all of a sudden we're making an additional stop at whatever station, and we're picking up all the passengers that are on it, or as many as we can. It's like, oh my god. Imagine, right, standing room only, like no space to walk up and down from, I think it was Grantham to bloody Edinburgh. That was not fun. I'm so glad that A, I already had a seat, and B, I didn't decide to leave earlier, because if I did, if I was on that train half an hour earlier, I would have been stranded and then be standing all the way to Edinburgh. What a disaster that was for those people. It's just mad. You know, and what are the odds? You know, my first ever time on a 91, and it all goes horribly wrong. But it was good fun. It was a nice trip. And then went back the next day on a HST. I managed to get both of those done before the HST's retired. Some 91s are staying, which is nice. But next, once lockdown is all over, I want to go on an Azuma. Because everyone hates them, but I don't hate them. I want to go on an Azuma. I've been on an 800. I went on an 800 from London to Bristol. That was nice. I enjoyed them. Most people hate them, but I don't. Oh well. Oh well. Gonna get along now. 125. It's just dead straight track. You just want to go so much faster, don't you? You just want to tick up to 150 and let it go. But no, we must conform to the rules today and actually look at the train bow, because that's what we're here for. 185. That's a free 185. Fuller Sim 185. Very nice. You know, it definitely fills the gap. I mean, we're supposed to be getting a new 185 at some point. Is it Imbu Studios or something like that on Facebook? They've shown off 185, but that was a long time ago and we've still not seen anything of it. So, who knows? At least we've got a free one for now. Yeah, let's look at that. I've seen this a couple of times, which is nice, you know, in real life. I just wish we had a bit more of an elaborate one. Some 50 miles to go into Northallerton. This is the section of the East Coast Main Line you just eat up. It's like go, 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 you know. It's good fun. I'm hoping DP Simulations continue this, because this is ultimately serves as a replacement for hello, got another 91 set coming here. This ultimately serves as a replacement for the original ECML route. 91119. Yeah, this route, I'll get my words out eventually, serves as a replacement for the original East Coast Main Line, which of course went all the way up to Newcastle. This route only goes as far as Darlington for now, and hopefully that will change one day. Hopefully they'll keep extending it. I mean, this is already phase 2, which I believe added some of the sections extending out of Darlington, but the route needs to go, you know, even further beyond, which I'm sure it will one day. You know, route building takes time, and if you want to see how much goes into route building, go to Train Sim. Is it Train Sim TV? I believe it's the YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. Their route building series. They're building Wakefield to Nottingley or something. Their route building series. Just look at that and see how much effort goes into the track laying, the signals, the gradients. Just watch it. I've been watching the series as it's been uploaded, and it's just so intricate. You have no idea. I'm telling you, you have no idea what goes into route building unless you build routes. And it's, you know, I've done some scenery bits and bobs in the past, and I'm on and off actually working on something, which I'll keep to myself for now, because, you know, it's I don't want to make any promises and tell everyone about a route I'm never going to finish. But I'm trying to work on it, but it's just doing the scenery, just so much work. You have no idea. So seriously, power off. Kind of made it. Seriously, go over to their channel and watch that route building series, and you'll appreciate a route like this and how much goes into it. I mean, and even this route, you know, it doesn't have much going on trackside. It's built to be driven from this perspective, And even so, this must have taken forever to do. And if you imagine, if you did a more scenic route, like a naturally more scenic route with lots of hills and valleys that need scenery stretching out side by side for miles, just so it looks good, I have no idea how people do it. It's so much effort. So, oh, look at that. All the action right now, and a 66. Rolling steel. Which is kind of fun, that's what you do on Tees Valley. That's essentially, on the TSW Tees Valley route, that's essentially what you do, just in 1989. That's probably a service that's come from Lackenby, which is really cool. That's really cool. This is dead straight, look at that. I think this is how a lot of people think trains are. Like, oh, why do trains go so slowly? It's just, you know, straight track. Yeah, well, it is for some sections like this, but not always. There's a station here. We don't have a platform for it, it's just the slow lines that do. Where is it? That's a good question. I can't read the signs, they're facing the other way. Thirsk. Lovely. What a noise. What a noise. That whistleboard should be. There's a crossing approaching. We'll do a fly past from it, shall we? I believe so. Oh, yes. That's somewhat of a crossing, I guess. Yep. What a noise. I love it. I love it. When I was younger, I always thought 91s were weird because they had a DVT at the back. Like, to me, you know, a childhood brain, it didn't make much sense. If you pushed it from the back, you know, toy train logic, it just push everything off the tracks. That's obviously not how it works in real life. Trains are a lot heavier and they're designed, you know, with close couplings to not do that. But it just always struck me as odd that there was only a locomotive on one end, especially because stuff like the HST exists, you know. And I've grown up with multiple units. We don't have locos and DVTs in the south because don't need them. So it's a very odd concept for a young me to wrap my head around. And when I bought this, I used to take the DVT off the back and put another 91 on. That went fast. That went very fast. That's just ridiculous. And then, because a lot of the 91 came from the APT's development when that released for Train Sim, I took power cars of that and shoved them in between, like 91, APT power car, couple coaches, APT power car 91. If you want a train that accelerates quickly, do that. Do that. It goes quick. It goes very quick. Because the APT, I think, is the most powerful train in the country. You know, and this was developed from that. So if you've got all that in one train, like, boom. It's just so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Right, Northallerton is in 3.7 miles. We are currently going 125 miles an hour. I just saw more Mark 1 coaches out to the side. I don't know what the braking distance is on this train. I'm going to suggest or imagine it's quite a lot. So this is one of those trains like the HST where if you slam the brakes on, all the coaches just smell of, you know, burning brakes. It's wonderful. But we're going to come off the power here. I don't know how much braking distance we're going to need. So I'm going to take it easy and prepare to slow down. I'm already coasting now, which is fine. But just over 1.5 miles, I'll start easing it down. Because 125 or 119 now, it's a lot to get rid of. It's on the HUD. Let's bring the speed down. It's probably ridiculously early, but I would rather slow down and crawl, especially as we're going to be early, than overshoot massively. Stations like Northallerton and I think Swindon's another one, they are the most difficult stations to stop at because you have got no speed approach, like no reducing speed towards them. If you imagine a station like Crewe, Peterborough, York's a big one because it's got a big curve in it. You know, you have speed reductions towards the station. Here we have nothing. It's on a stretch of 125, so you've got to know exactly where to slow down. And I think we're going to do okay. He says, I might have overdone it a bit here, or underdone it's probably the better way of putting that. But we're in full service now. Welcome to Northallerton. Laggy Northallerton. Oh no, we'll be okay. That was kind of alright, that. The coaches probably smell of burning brakes now, but it's all good. That's it. Now, where's our stopping point? See a train in the distance. So obviously the key is for all the trains to be on the platform, of course. I know with a lot of HST stops in the west, you've got to overhang the power car. But here I think we all fit. I might overhang the nose a little bit. We have no passengers in this section, so it doesn't really matter. DVT's in. Welcome to Northallerton. Very nice. Let's power that down. It might power down eventually. I've gone to neutral at least. It also gives us a chance to hear the rev up again, which is very nice. So yes, welcome to Northallerton. Seagulls. I love the noise these coaches make. It's so cool. Danger warning. Passengers should. Yeah, I can read that. Northallerton. Lovely. I believe there's a train coming into the stagger platform on the other side. I could see one in the distance. It's coming slowly but surely. We'll see if we can watch it come in. That's a very tall shunt signal that's facing the sky. Like, you know, if you're driving here, it's like on a bad day, you're not going to see those aspects at all, are you? If the sun is shining anywhere remotely in this area, you are not seeing that because it's facing the wrong bloody way. Oh well. What's going to happen first? Is this train going to get her, or are we going to leave? Going to be close. I think we can watch it come in, which is nice. That's it. So yeah, the 185, you know, it was originally made by someone else. I can't remember their name now. It was rather basic and, you know, very low quality. But then I think it's Fuller Sim, took it on board and just gave it a bit of love, did the new TPE livery, which is very nice. And now it does just sort of stand in quite nicely as a bit of freeware. And it can be driven as well, I think. I think Alias is the 175 cab and the 175 EP for noises. Lovely. Yeah, I do love the TPE livery. I would love... Doors opening, very nice. I would love to see the Nova fleet in TS one day. So 802, you know, the 8 is it 802s they have? 801s, I don't know. Or 800s, I don't even know which one they've got. We've got that, sort of. It's still only a prototype version, really. We've got that, but the 397s would be nice, and some proper Mark 5s. We're still not allowed to depart. Come on! I suppose long dwell times, because getting in and out of these, not easy. You know, you've got to shuffle your way out. Oh, excuse me, you know, this is my stop. Grab your luggage, shuffle your way through, step down, fall into the platform. That's the way it is. Trainbow. Well, it's an opportunity for a screenshot at least. Lovely. Can we go yet? Compressor noises. Come on, I want a chance to hear those traction motors. Let's bring some brakes off so it's easy to depart. Nearly there. Nearly there. It's like it's purring, isn't it? It's kind of cool. Doors are closing. Darlington's our next stop. Are we ready for this? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And we're off. I've done all this. I haven't actually spoken about the 91 livery itself, like in Train Sim. BH3 skins. It's a very nice pack. It covers Virgin and LNER. It's got some lovely details, which I'll show off in a sec. And we're away. Yeah, we've got some lovely details here. I'm gonna pop back. Here we go. You can see on the coaches there, got the actual destinations, because it's not, they have destination sheets of paper they stick in the door. That's old school for you. So yeah, Edinburgh, Waverley, calling at Stevenage, Peterborough, Grantham, Newark, Northgate, Retford, Doncaster, York, Northallerton, Darlington, Durham, Newcastle, and Edinburgh, Waverley. One day we'll do the whole thing. We'll do it one day, I promise. It's definitely something I want to do. So yeah, LNER. Looks nice. It's a very nice reskin. Love is love. My signals are very bright, bloody hell. Just shone yellow straight down the train. Right, 13 miles. We should get a chance to get up to 125 again. That should be enough distance. And we'll get speed controlled into Darlington because, much like in Tees Valley, you've got to turn off to actually get into it. Which is all good. 70 miles an hour. $73, very nice. It's nice in here. What would be nice one day is if we do get updates to older enhancement packs, because like the 375 EP included stuff like working GSMR in existing cabs, and that would be very nice to have here. Just slot a new GSMR system into this. It just gives you those little things to fiddle with, you know? It's good fun. It's good fun. 88, 89, 90, 91 and the 91. That calls for a screenshot. I suppose next to be doing 225 in the 225, but we're not going to get up to that today. We could do that on some section of the ECML, because the way these things were tested and ran at those speeds for a time, they installed signals with an extra aspect, because most signals are 4-aspect signals: green, double yellow, single yellow, red. Trouble is, when you're going that fast, if you're going faster than 125, even with long distance, with long distance between signal blocks, you can see here these should be 4-aspect signals. Yeah, so that can display green, double yellow, single yellow, or red. If we were doing 140 right now, and that was double yellow, good chances are we would not make it to 0 before we reach the red signal. The way they got around that on sections of the ECML was introducing another aspect, flashing green. So then it went flashing green, green, double yellow, single yellow, red. So if you saw flashing green, 140. If you saw green, start slowing down, because you're going to get to double yellow shortly and you need to be ready to stop. And there are sections, I believe it's on the ECML merge, the flashing greens have been put in, so we could do that one day. We could do that one day. But yeah, it's stuff like that, signal sighting, that means trains are limited to 125 without in-cab signalling. Which is why the Pendolinos can go that fast as well, but they can't because they don't have the signalling for it. If the West Coast Main Line was fitted with in-cab signalling, the Pendolinos could be doing 140 in some sections, which would be very cool. You know, and with the Azumas now, the plan is to, you know, get speeds up like that. I still don't think it's going to happen without a massive overhaul of infrastructure, because the overhead wires on the East Coast Main Line were done on the cheap, and therefore they have as much tensile strength as G-strings. It's just ridiculous. You know, 91s, Azumas, and further down, 365s, 217s, 321s in the past, 700s now. The East Coast Main is notorious for having wires ripped down by pantographs because the infrastructure is just so bad. There is absolutely no way it could support 140 these days. I really don't think it could do it. If you tried doing 140 down here, our pantograph would rip these wires to shreds. It's just one of those things that was done on the cheap, you know. That's why you shouldn't do things on the cheap. But oh well. Everything's always done on the cheap in this country. Roads is a big one. Instead of overhauling roads properly, they just lazily half fill in a pothole, which then next winter rolls around, ice gets in, the water gets in, freezes, ice expands, crack, got an even bigger hole than you had last year. It's just not good. It's just not good. We don't do proper fixes. We do not do proper fixes. We've got a 1:15 limit coming up, and we are only 5.6 miles away from Darlington. Like I said, a shorter run today. A shorter run, but there's always time for longer length runs. I didn't want to do any other sections of the ECML because Newcastle Edinburgh takes forever. So does Peterborough York, and London Peterborough I'm saving to do some other videos on because, you know, I've got some other ideas. Slow down, do this properly. That's it. Power back on. Ding. Round the corner. Very nice. Be epic if another train came round the corner right now, wouldn't it? I was hoping me saying that would make it happen. Evidently not. We'll just take a screenshot anyway then. Something like that? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. And we'll go up here, watch it swoop round the corner. Look rather fabulous. Amazing. Right, how are we doing? 110. Oh, come on. Back up to 115 we go. Over a viaduct, very nice. Got to 125, but Darlington's approaching. That 125 seems risky to me, and we have double flashing yellows. Off the power. As I said, we've got to turn off to get into the platforms here. We got it. 90. Okay. Still, let's take it easy. Stopping in 2 miles. Another train approaching. Looks like a HST. Very nice. Get a screenshot with that. Look at that. The LNER duo. Well, the once duo. HST's no longer in service now. Big sad, but, you know, never mind. It's the new one, by the way. Which someone's working on, I think it's Fuller Sim as well. Same guy's done the 185. He's porting the HST EP onto this model, which would be very nice to drive one day. Come on, unpause. There we go. Pushed the button, didn't do anything. Forever stuck. in pause mode. Which, if you don't know, is on the pause break key on a keyboard. Not all keyboards have it. Which is something to, you know, if you're getting a new PC, most keyboards have it, but not every single keyboard has a pause break key. So if you want to take screenshots in TS properly, well, you can take them anyway, but if you want to take them how I take them, then get a keyboard with the pause break key. It's very handy. I wish it was something that worked in TSW. You cannot pause the game in the same way. The screenshot's a lot more harder to take. I'm going to keep the speed coming down because we've got a 35 very soon. Around the corner, and here, there's Darlington. On the right will come in the Tees Valley line. So if you look, there's a pacer coming in. Nice. So yeah, that's the Tees Valley line. So if you know it from TSW, that's where that's, you know, how it relates to the rest of the network. And that's stuff I love seeing. I love seeing how stuff relates to the rest of the network. You know, it's that being in a car, not necessarily driving, being in a car, not knowing where you are, and then clicking. Oh, I know where I am now. That journey, I didn't know where we were. I can now see how that links to everything else. I love stuff like that. So yeah, we've just driven from York up to Darlington. The birthplace of the railways, really. It's very important. And we have arrived. So we shall come to a nice stop. Very long platforms here. Although we're gonna, you can see it's split because there's a signal here, and it starts on the HUD now. So pull right up to the end. Get a lot of split platforms where trains use each half of it. Tunbridge has one. Tunbridge platform 1's split into two. Half of it's used by Southeastern. So there's Voyager coming in over there. Half of it's used by Southeastern on the Melbury Valley line, the other half's used by Southern on the Red Hill line. It's cool. Bring our speed down. And here we are. Welcome to Darlington. Let's see the doors open, shall we? Because it's got new audio for it when you get this reskin. Which is kind of cool. Modern beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. So yeah, we've made it to Darlington. This train will continue on its way to Edinburgh, but that's been our train boat journey for today as she powers down there. Very nice. Love the seagull noises. So yeah, that's been our run to Darlington, which is very, very, very nice. Look at that. Love it. Good work, driver. The scenario will now end, and so will the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm loving this series. It's great. Do love driving some train boats. We have got more to drive in the near future, so stay tuned. I shall see you in the next video.